artillery to seize rebel outposts. Stephanie Kleine-Ahlbrandt is an advisor on China at the International Crisis Group. She's also the project director for Northeast Asia for the group. She joins us live from Beijing. Good to have you with us. You think Chinese mediation could pull it off this time?
Well, you know, it's going to be difficult to see because Chinese have actually been mediating in these types of disputes already for years. They played a major role in 1989 in the ceasefires. And that hasn't been sufficient, actually, to keep the ceasefires from unraveling. So I think that China is trying this time to get both parties to the table, hoping that we will see some concessions on both sides so that they can ensure stability along their 2,000-kilometer-mile border to ensure that there's no spillover of conflict into China.
It seems the problem in the past has been, in terms of securing a ceasefire, is that the rebels want a political solution first before a ceasefire. Is there any indication that that might be forthcoming?
Well, you know, the problem right now is that the mutual mistrust on both sides is indeed very high, but I think that there's a great opportunity now. There's been a lot of pressure brought to bear on both the government and the Kachin to come up with a solution, and China's own interest here is to ensure some type of gradual policy adjustments by the government that would allow some form of minor autonomy for the ethnic group. They don't want to see full-blown autonomy. They don't want to see federalism. China would like to see something along the lines of a one country, two systems model that we see with Hong Kong.
All right. Now, at the same time we've got this dynamic going on, let's not forget the West, the US seems to be kind of cautiously embracing Myanmar. Is there a role for the West to play, for the US to play here in balancing its policy with the concerns of alleged human rights abuses and suppression of people like the Kachin and the Rohingya Muslims?
Well, there's definitely a role, because if there is to be a real ceasefire and agreement between the government and the Kachin, it looks like there might need to be countries that act as guarantors. In fact, the Kachin are looking for China and the US possibly to act both as guarantors of a ceasefire because they don't trust that the government will actually keep the ceasefire. But what would be a better solution would actually be to look to Asia's own regional organization, ASEAN, which would be very well placed to try and monitor the implementation of some type of ceasefire.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for talking to us, Stephanie Kleine-Ahlbrandt.